One of the main reasons why I'm trying to change rackets is that my relationship with my Wilson blades have been pretty shaky the past few years. Probably broken around 5 to 7 Wilson blades in the past 3 years. Nice little net cord. In this video, I get a chance to try new tennis rackets at a very unique tennis facility and shop in Montreal, Canada. As you can see, there's crazy pillars in the way, and it is a singles court with no doubles lines.
Lois, you should do that thing that I like. Ah! Hey kids, have you seen my wallet? Oh, nickels!
Welcome to Tennis Giant. This is a tennis shop in Montreal. That's why there's still snow on the ground. As you can see, this is the interior, very nice. A lot of rackets, and they also have tennis court, pickleball court, and badminton court. And those are the 4 rackets I will try today. Now for the Groundstroke reviews. The goal this day was to try different rackets because I'm looking to steer away from my Wilson blade. Obviously, the main reason is because I tend to break the rackets at the butt cap. So I'm looking for, first of all, a racket that hopefully won't do that. But also, I'm also looking for a more powerful racket with a little more control. The Blade V8 is mostly for, I would say it's a good racket for feel and control, which is good. But obviously, if I want to be a very good tennis player, I need to be a little more aggressive and be able to hit a little more powerful. So I chose just a few rackets to try. Here I'm playing with the Dunlop FX 500 Tour. To be honest, my first initial thoughts on this racket were very good. I got a chance to hit with Jack Draper at the Rogers Cup in 2022, and he was probably one of the players that hits the hardest I've ever played with. So that's a good indication that the racket is good for power. And also, Alexei Popyrin just played Djokovic at the Australian Open, and he really took it to him. So there's a lot of good players out there that use this racket that are very powerful. So I will definitely consider changing to this racket for sure. I then started doing some return of serves with the racket, and then this happened.
I'm going to try and hit a backhand down the line.
This is by far the craziest shot I have ever hit in my life.
No.
After I made that shot, I went back to normal returns, just playing the point for fun. Obviously, there's crazy pillars in the way, so we have to be careful. Now I got a chance to try Daniil Medvedev's racket. This was a highly anticipated racket for me to try. I've always wanted to try it, and I could see myself change to it. To be honest, my review on the Groundstrokes, the Groundstrokes was probably the best attribute of this racket. It felt really good in terms of control, but it feels like you have to generate your own power, and you have to put a lot into the ball to create it. So I would say that's the one downside. Now moving on to the Radical MP. To be honest, this racket felt pretty powerful, a little too powerful. I actually tried this racket like a year ago at my old college. My old teammate had this racket, and I wanted to try it for fun. It actually felt pretty similar to the Wilson blade that I have in terms of just how it felt in my hands, but also just playing with it in terms of like feel. It was pretty good with like touch shots, like slices and volleys. But when I tried it in this practice, it felt like I wasn't really in control of where the ball went. It was very powerful. It just felt like the ball came off the strings very fast, and it didn't seem like I was able to put the ball where I wanted to, kind of like what I could do with the Dunlop and my Wilson blade. So yeah, overall the ground strokes were pretty powerful, but I didn't enjoy it too much. Now we move on to the volley review. In general, volleys are pretty important to me. I like to hit serve and volleys, or chip and charge, or in general just come to the net. So how the racket feels with volleys is pretty important. So for the Dunlop, it felt pretty nice. I felt like I was in control of the volleys. With the Daniil Medvedev racket, the Tecnifibre, it felt, again, pretty good. There isn't too many differences between the rackets at the net, because the technique is so short, it's hard to like really see big differences, just more with the stability. I felt like the Dunlop racket was definitely more stable than the two others, but the Tecnifibre and Radical were pretty good. I felt like the Radical, you could maybe punch it a little more. The Dunlop, it was a little more of a controlled punch volley. And then I would say the Tecnifibre was probably the least stable racket out of all three. In general, I would say that my top two rackets would be the Dunlop and the Radical. I would say the Medvedev one was my least favorite in terms of volleys. Now the final review, the serve. I didn't do too many serves. I just wanted to do a few serves with each racket. They felt pretty similar, but yet again, the Dunlop racket was my favorite in terms of stability and power and accuracy. Just comparing the Dunlop to the Tecnifibre felt like I couldn't really serve where I wanted. So in general, I would say the Dunlop was my favorite racket for the serve. After trying these demos, I would say that the Radical was by far my least favorite at number 3. And then I would say the two Tecnifibre rackets, because they felt pretty similar, I would say that they're at number 2. And then by far, my favorite racket between all of them was the Dunlop FX Tour Pro. I really enjoyed this racket. I can definitely see myself change to it. I'm just going to have to try it a few more times. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and link in the description down below of my video of hitting of Carlos Alcaraz. Until next time, peace.